In the vast, ever-expanding universe, where galaxies orbit in perfect harmony and the stars sparkle like jewels upon the canvas of the night, every atom and every breath that echoes in the void moves by the command of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. It is not random chaos or blind chance that governs existence. Rather, it is divine wisdom that sustains this grand design. And among the clearest manifestations of this wisdom lies the Holy Qur'an, the eternal word of Allah, delivered as a gift, as a guide, and as a lifeline to humanity. Today's message, dear brothers and sisters, is one that flows directly from that sacred book. From Surah Luqman, a chapter infused with pearls of divine guidance, powerful spiritual secrets, and timeless wisdom. And among the many treasures this surah contains, there is one particular verse that carries such deep, spiritual potency that merely reciting it as a wazifa can completely change the direction of your life. It has the ability to bewilder those who seek to harm you, silence the ones who oppress you, elevate your honor, and bring hearts under your influence not through deception or manipulation, but through the divine light that Allah has placed within His words. The power of a single verse from Surah Luqman. There are moments in life when people turn against us. Moments when we feel isolated, disrespected, or wronged by those around us. Sometimes you may find yourself in the middle of social conflict, spiritual distress, or being confronted by a person who uses their strength or position to bring you down. You may try arguments, explanations, or even silence, but the opposition continues. It is in such times that Allah opens a door through His book, a door that leads not only to external resolution but to internal peace. One such key to this door is found in a verse from Surah Luqman. And amazingly, you don't even need to memorize the entire verse. A portion of it is enough, a small fragment whose spiritual vibrations resonate with such intensity that it can transform your affairs, clear away darkness, and illuminate your path with divine assistance. This wazifa is not a fantasy, nor is it a mere tradition passed down by hearsay. Its legitimacy is grounded in both the Qur'an and the authentic hadith. When this practice is carried out with sincere faith and spiritual focus, it has the potential to soften the hardest of hearts and humble the most arrogant of opponents. If you are yearning to gain the respect and admiration of others, to influence people for good, to bring your voice into the hearts of those who ignore it, or to gently move someone toward a decision that aligns with truth, this verse can become your shield and your lantern. And if, God forbid, you are facing someone who is oppressing you unjustly, then let this verse become your fortress. Recite it as a spiritual weapon, not to harm, but to invoke Allah's mercy, protection, and justice upon your situation. Surah Luqman, a chapter of divine wisdom. Surah Luqman is a beautiful, deeply contemplative chapter of the Qur'an. It is named after Luqman the Wise, Luqman al-Hakim, a man whose sayings and advice have been preserved in the Qur'an not merely as historical notes, but as eternal teachings. Luqman was a man chosen by Allah not necessarily as a prophet according to most scholars, but as a beacon of wisdom. His words are not only relevant to the people of his time, but stand tall through the ages as a mirror for our own thoughts, actions, and inner struggles. The Qur'an says, "And indeed we bestowed upon Luqman wisdom, saying, Be grateful to Allah." Surah Luqman 31-12. It is fascinating that Allah introduces Luqman, not through lineage or tribal identity, but through the gift of wisdom, hikmah, and gratitude, shukr. It is a powerful reminder that true status in the eyes of Allah is not tied to bloodlines, social status, or wealth, but to one's connection to Him through knowledge, wisdom, and thankfulness. Historical accounts of Luqman the Wise. According to the Qasas al-Quran and various other classical sources, Luqman is believed to have lived around 3000 BCE, though some scholars connect his timeline closer to the era of Prophet David, peace be upon him, which was approximately 1100 BCE. Interestingly, many respected historians and mufassirin, Quranic commentators like Ibn Kathir, Ibn Jarir, and Ibn Ishaq have shared unique insights into Luqman's origin. While some say he was from Africa, even possibly Nubia or Sudan, and brought to Arabia as a slave, Others narrate that he was a carpenter, a shepherd, and a judge. Despite his humble beginnings, Luqman rose to become one of the most respected sages of his time. Ibn Abbas reportedly said that Luqman was a prophet, though the majority of scholars, including Ibn Kathir, disagreed with this view, affirming that while Luqman was incredibly wise, the Qur'an does not declare him as a prophet or messenger. But what the Qur'an does make abundantly clear is that Luqman was a man of deep insight, spiritual clarity, and moral strength, a figure worth emulating. A story of wisdom, Luqman and the Traveler. Let us reflect upon one of the most famous narrations associated with Luqman the Wise. It is said that one day, Luqman was walking along a path when he saw a traveler seated by the roadside. The traveler, tired and weary, looked up and asked, "Oh, elder, can you tell me how long it will take to reach the city?" Luqman replied simply, "Just keep moving forward." Thinking that Luqman hadn't heard him properly, the traveler repeated his question with frustration. "I'm exhausted and need to know. Please, tell me how far the city is and how long it will take me to get there." Luqman, with calmness, again answered, "Just go on your way." Annoyed, the traveler assumed Luqman was insane or dismissive, so he got up and began walking away. But after he had walked a short distance, Luqman called out, "You will reach the city before sunset." The traveler turned back, confused. "Why didn't you answer me when I first asked?" he inquired. Luqman smiled and said, "Earlier, you were sitting. I could not determine your pace. Now that I've seen how fast you walk, I can accurately tell you how long it will take." Subhanallah? What a reflection of wisdom, patience, and presence of mind. This wasn't merely a display of cleverness, it was a lesson in observation, in not rushing to answer before having the full picture, and in responding with balance and insight. The night of transformation, Luqman and his master. Another deeply touching story is that of Luqman during the time he was enslaved. After being purchased by a man, possibly a farmer, Luqman fulfilled his daily duties with integrity. But when the night arrived, his soul would rise beyond the worldly sphere. He would isolate himself and begin praying to his Lord in silence and humility. One night, as the house lay in stillness, Luqman gently approached his master and whispered, "My master, paradise is adorned with countless blessings. The one who desires it does not sleep away the night in heedlessness." The master turned and murmured, "Let me sleep, O slave. My Lord is forgiving and merciful." Luqman returned to his room and resumed his prayers. After some time he came again. "My master, the hours of the night are slipping away. Use what remains to seek your Lord's mercy and plan for your hereafter." But again the master responded with the same words, "Let me sleep. My Lord is most forgiving and most merciful." When the final third of the night came, a time known in Hadith as the moment when Allah descends to the lowest heaven to respond to those who call upon him, Luqman approached once more and said, "My master, even the birds have left their nests in praise of Allah. The creatures of the earth stir to glorify him. This is the best time to ask from your Lord." And again his master turned over, clinging to slumber. But Luqman did not despair. He went back and prayed till the break of dawn, bathed in the serenity of Fajr. Dear viewers, that silent dedication eventually melted the master's heart. That same man, inspired by the sincerity and unwavering faith of Luqman, would later become one of the foremost righteous men of his era. Spiritual secrets of the Qur'an and the one-verse Wazifa. There is no doubt that the Holy Qur'an is not just a book, it is a living miracle. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad said, "The best of you are those who learn the Qur'an and teach it to others." Bukhari. Indeed, this is not just a statement, it is a blueprint for success in both worlds. It teaches us that learning the Qur'an is not a favor to Allah. It is an elevation of our own souls. Each verse of the Qur'an contains infinite light. If the entire knowledge of mankind were weighed against even a single verse, that one verse would outweigh all of it in wisdom, truth, and eternal benefit. So when we speak of using a verse from Surah Luqman as a wazifa, we do so with the utmost reverence. It is not mere ritual, it is spiritual alignment with the divine word. This Wazifa, rooted in Surah Luqman, is for winning people's hearts, being honored and respected, gaining acceptance for your righteous requests, silencing those who wrong you unjustly, healing matters that are emotionally or spiritually broken. It is to be recited consistently, preferably after Salah, in a state of wudu, with your intentions clear, your heart focused, and your tongue moistened with dhikr. And most importantly, combine this Wazifa with trust in Allah, tawakkul. Know that He alone changes hearts, opens doors, and lifts burdens. Final reflections. O seeker of Allah, let the stories of Luqman the wise soften your heart. Let his words inspire your life. Let the Qur'an be your refuge, your cure, your shield, and your guiding star. When you feel like the world is not listening, remember the verse. When you feel overwhelmed, remember Luqman's patience. And when you seek honor, seek it not through people, but through Allah's divine word. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with more inspiring Islamic content. Like, share, and comment to support our work and spread the message.